This drip all on my body, soaking wet the sunny. Looking like a walking lick, yeah, you can tell I'm grinding. Rolling back was full of loud.
What's up, fuckers? Episode 10, The Beer Latte Show. I'm Steve.
I'm Nick.
I'm Danny.
Danielle.
And today is brought to you by Gusto Brewing down in North Cape May, New Jersey. So today we have 4 beers from them to try, and we are going to be starting with what they're calling a Pop Shove It. That is an American IPA, 6.7%.
I like it. Citrusy.
Yeah, to me, it's almost has the taste of an IPA. I'm not getting anything deeper right now.
But it's not strong.
No.
It's good.
It's smoother, nice brown color, kind of like a Yingling color.
It smells good.
It does smell good. Then next up, we have Uncanny Valley IPA. No, it's a black IPA, Cascadian Dark Ale. This thing is just black.
Yeah.
I love this one. This one's my favorite so far.
That is dark tasting, as you would say, Danielle.
Yeah, I love it.
That's what I was about to say. Like, well, just smelling it, I was like, oh, that smells dark. And I was like, I know it's going to have that dark taste to it.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That's going to sit on the tongue for a while.
It's smooth, but
Smooth.
like-
It's fucking really good, though.
I don't think it's sitting on my tongue at all. Not like a Guinness. No.
no,
No,
and
not
you know
like
what?
that, but it is slightly hoppier, like an IPA.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a black IPA. I don't think so anyway.
And I always tend to feel like the darker, like Guinness type of beers, they have like the bitter aftertaste. This doesn't.
No, it's 6.9%.
Yeah, so
It's good.
It's really
like
good.
6.9, I want to say it's almost kind of lower on the IPA caliber,
It seems to be like average.
which I think is also why like it just tastes like pretty good.
All right, Nick.
I lost my train of thought mid-sentence.
It just, good.
It's good, man. It's the taste of good.
It's good. It's better. It's
Yeah,
dark.
we're the worst. The next beer we have is called the Big Salad, which is probably going to be my favorite just by looks and smell. Also, probably my favorite fucking way to eat a salad. Fuck yeah.
I like it a lot, actually.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
pretty crisp.
That is a double New England IPA, and it's fucking...
Really?
That is good. 8%. Danielle's not a fan. You can see it in her face. I'll be drinking the rest of that beer.
Yeah,
It's okay. I know you love these kind.
I do. It's fucking good.
It has a fruity smell to it, too. And, yeah, it's super crisp.
Very hoppy, a lot of citrus, and a fucking fan favorite of mine.
What about Danny?
no, no.
No?
It's not the worst. I thought it'd be a little bit more lighter because it's golden. Like,
It's a light color. It's a hazy IPA.
I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not my favorite.
I like it the most out of all of them so far.
So, girls, just pass your cups to me. That's how I'll end my night.
And I will have your dark beer. Thank you.
You can have that. You know I'm not the biggest dark fan, but that is really good anyway.
Thank you. Now we know what we're going to get when we go back.
And now
We'll
the
get that
drum
later
roll
on.
for the fourth one. Nick will be potentially a fan. The 2 girls are going to fucking hate me.
Oh, why?
But this is called Inside Joke. Great name. And it is a blackberry sour.
I don't know. The color is really nice and it smells good. So let's see.
I already know what to expect, so I'm getting scared.
See, this doesn't bother me. This is actually really good because I like
Oh,
sour.
yeah.
That's pretty delicious.
No,
Oh,
I
it's
like
getting me.
this.
It gets me.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually a pretty good sour. I'll actually say it's also a little light on sour. I've had ones that
Yeah.
literally hit me hard in the glands, which is the best part.
See, the reason I said they're
Oh,
going to
wait,
hate
no,
me
they're-
was we did have a sour. Personally, should not have been even called a sour, as far as I'm concerned.
That's
It wasn't
really
bad, but I was disappointed.
It was bad.
This is this is what it needs to be. Could it be, it's not a sour, like you said, someone really fucking
Well,
get you,
th-
but this is refreshing.
good. This isn't
And sour.
This isn't a hard sour. This is a nice sour for people that need to get into sours. Like I think you could drink this one pretty easily compared to like other sours that I have tasted.
I'm not disappointed.
No?
This
I
is
feel
my
like
favorite.
That one time that we had
Really,
the
out of all
sours-
4 of them, Danny.
I like this one.
And
that
you're
one-
okay, Danielle?
Yeah, I like it.
It is. It's a lot fruitier than the other one.
Yeah, I was disappointed by the other one, so I didn't know what to expect. But now,
But this is really fucking good.
No, yeah, this is great fruity flavor. Nice little sour kick in the glands afterwards, but not one that's like super hard. One that almost actually took me a few like while talking for it to hit harder,
Yeah.
and then I was like, oh, okay, like it took a while to actually like seep into the
Yeah, I
glands.
got the original blackberries and then a little bit of sour in the end.
Yeah.
That's really good. So that is Gusto Brewing down in North Cape May, New Jersey. You can find them at gustobrewco.com or on Instagram at gustobrewco. That's Gusto brew co. I gotta tell you, I'm fucking pumped.
What's up?
Just the other day, the fucking Department of Defense released information claiming that the videos have been circling. There's one that was from 2004 and two from 2015 UFO videos. They're now saying they're real Navy videos.
Oh, now they're saying that they're real.
Wait, so they're just right in the middle of this? They're just going to drop these brand new videos? Well, I guess not brand new, but just going to be like, here are these videos right now?
Well, they've been around. They were, leaked by accident from whoever. But I guess, 2020 is so fucked up that it's not even that big of news because they're like, this is a good time to slip out the information. No one's paying attention. They're not saying UFOs are real, but they're not saying they're not real.
Yeah, well...
They're saying the videos are real, and they are still saying that it's unidentified what they fucking saw.
Yeah, so they are saying a UFO is real, not an alien UFO, but an
Correct.
unidentified flying object is what was captured on these videos that they can still not to explain almost what the one is like a decade and a half later.
Right, and then the other two are 5 years old.
Yeah, they've had these videos, and they're like, well, shit, we don't know what it is.
Yeah, their big claim is that, since they've been around anyway, they're like, well, it's not showing any sensitive information. There's not showing any systems operations that are classified, blah, blah, blah. So, hey, those are real videos from our planes. Meanwhile, one of them looked like they were taken from, like, the shittiest camera, and they must have been talking on, like, Nokia fucking bar phones. Nokia, whatever. Well, they were there playing. The guy was playing fucking Snake. He's like, shit, there's an alien. And that's when he made the phone call.
To me, it makes me wonder because why are they like laughing? Is that how guys do? They're like, oh, there's some fucking aliens.
Guys, you see, this is ridiculous.
I mean,
something's happening.
They're like, woohoo.
we could die. Yeah.
I mean, I guess, people have nervous laughter. Even though they are trained military professionals, I guess they could still be nervous that an unidentified object is just like chilling in their airspace. And they're like, wow.
Yeah. Well, one of the videos I watched, the guy was like, and I got him on the tracker, and he starts laughing. I was like,
yeah, that's
like, so you're ready to blow him up? What are we doing here?
That's the one. It looked like it was flying over water or something. I didn't understand that one because these videos were for how long they've been out, talked about if they were fake or not. And that one always confused me because like the speck seems so small compared to the scale of the water.
Yeah, it was like a tiny white light.
Yeah, but like it took. Obviously, we don't know the distance or the equipment they used, but it almost looked like it was like a penny in an ocean.
Yeah, it looked rather small.
Yeah.
It's always it just baffles me because anytime you see some kind of evidence of anything and you see it on, no matter what they're filming on, even if it's present day, it's always so grainy and...
Yeah, it's like when have you seen this guy? And it's like someone robbed the bank.
Yeah.
And the fucking picture shows nothing.
Yeah.
Like, no, I haven't seen him
like
at all.
this day and age, we could see from, outer space and orange on the ground, but we can't see a fucking robber in a bank. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, from 10 feet away. No,
I mean,
there was that one video that had that black UFO in it, and I think they were even laughing in that video.
Was that the one that was like
and
doing a 360?
It started like rotating, and it looked just like an actual flying saucer that the people always draw for real aliens. That's always depicted in movies and
it looked like it had
TV.
a dome on the top and on the bomb in the center.
Yeah.
Like,
And then it started fucking rotating. And that one's fucking crazy to me.
I guess I missed that one. I'm only seeing the two crappy ones.
Yeah, I don't know how you missed that one because that's the one that's, to me, the most important. And it's actually, if you go to defense.gov, you can see the press release. And then at the bottom of the article, there's a link to all the videos so you can actually download and watch them.
I'm gonna have to do that.
And the one, I'm telling you, the one that's fucking rotating, that one's mind-blowing to me because it looks just like they're always depicted as.
yeah, that one was also, out of the three, I think like the most like zoomed in. Like this one was...
It looked like he was like literally on top of the UFO, basically.
Like it seemed like he was only like maybe 100 yards away or so. Like it seemed like he was like following this thing.
And all you see in his tracker on his in his systems there did have him like locked into like little squares around him, like I don't know the rules of engagement, I guess, but it didn't sound like they were talking to a commander either. It seemed like they were just talking between planes.
And so why wouldn't they talk to their commander? I mean, they're seeing an unidentified flying object
over American airspace.
Right. They're obviously guarding something. Why would Why would it be okay if something that's not supposed to be there?
I'm assuming they're on like routine, like flight practice, training, blah, blah, blah. But at some point they should be like, is anyone else fucking seeing, no one else picking this up on the ground? And,
right.
Is this dodging all radars?
I don't know if there's more to the video we'll never see, and there probably is. So maybe they're
true. Well, yeah.
Prior and after the part we see, maybe they're like, guys stand down, blah, blah, blah. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, you got to think if the government said they don't think these videos are showing any like important information, what happens if like after the video, because if the video, like they cut it, and after the video they're saying shit, like they're calling their sergeant, but they're saying like the sergeant's name or his commanding officer number or where they're at, and that's information the government wouldn't want to give to the public. So it's like, oh, we could give you this 30-second clip that is literally just guys laughing.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
we're not
There's
gonna,
no real information.
Yeah, we're not going to give you like where they are over the ground or who's the pilot of that plane. Like,
I wonder if the pilots now have like the liberty to be able to like, that was me.
I wonder. I don't know.
Like now that it's a free thing and it's out there saying, like if I was that guy, I'd be like, I'm fucking telling everybody I'm going on Ellen and I'm saying there's fucking aliens.
Well, right now, go on Ellen is you sit on your couch and talk to Ellen on her couch.
We can Zoom fucking chat.
Yeah.
And I'm telling the whole world, I was in that fucking plane. This is what happened. This is what I saw.
Truthfully, obviously, this was just released. I wouldn't doubt you hear that within like the next couple of weeks of the pilots being like, yeah, that was me.
Yeah, they got to do like a round tour, telling everybody.
The beer lattes on that tour.
That motherfuckers, we will find them because we are such detectives here. We will find these people after they release themselves and ask them, hey, you want to talk to us?
Yeah. After they tell us their names, we will Google them and find a way to contact them.
And we'll slide into their DMs and said, let's fucking talk.
I saw like a small video clip of some former military intelligence official. His name was Luis Elizondo. He used to run the Pentagon secret UFO unit, and he said that unequivocally.
There was a Pentagon secret UFO unit?
Yeah, that's
is it
what
still a
this
thing?
is. That's what that was.
Well, now it's just the Pentagon's UFO unit. It's not the secret Pentagon UFO unit anymore.
They've since changed names.
Yeah, they dropped the secret part.
Yeah, like, all right, we're exposed.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, who knows if they're even saying that? I didn't even get that far. I mean, I'm not even sure they're even saying that they're
confused
even
that there's even a unit
existence
for this, but
yeah,
wasted
right.
tax dollars.
Well, again, a UFO could literally just mean this is a Russian jet. Well, I guess if it's unidentified, they wouldn't know it was Russian or a jet.
It's UFO, and they were like, no, that's Russian. Okay,
well, yeah,
we did our job.
Then it's just an FO.
Yeah.
Well, he says that unequivocally, very compelling evidence that we may not be alone, and basically that's all he wanted to divulge, really.
He said that about he just said that about the stuff that came out.
Yeah, he was being interviewed.
I wonder if he's just saying that because that's all he's allowed to say.
I think he was holding back. Yeah. He said based on electro-optical data and eyewitnesses and pilots, that's how they determined what a UFO was or their standards of UFO. And then when asked about, there's this thing floating around in space now. I don't know how new it is, but I was just turned on to it after I was looking up UFOs and stuff. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like this uniquely shaped interstellar asteroid that's floating through space. It's very long, which is not typical of any kind of like asteroid. It's long, like, I'm not sure like, measurements or anything, but like it's like pen shaped, I'd say, and flat.
Yeah.
Looks like it could be a ship.
Yeah. Most asteroids are circular.
Right. I was just watching this and he was asked about that and he just wanted to put the data about that, like the video out there, and then just have people, the pictures or videos that they do have speak kind of for themselves and see what other people think. So he really wasn't giving up too much of his own information.
Well, I'm saying I don't think he can. It's like probably treason if he does.
Can you imagine that? And now it's on its way out, I think. I think it's on its way out, so we might never really know. But it's like reddish as well. It's not picking up any kind of radio data or any kind of it's not transmitting anything.
If it is something, we just don't have the way to listen to it or contact it at this point.
Right. Like no kind of, I guess, radio waves or whatever they use.
Right. It's no different than, somebody's reaching out to a ship or a plane. If you're not on the same frequency. Doesn't matter if you're using the same, technology. You're not going to hear each other.
Well, not necessarily, because we have been hearing signals for the past 25 years from the belt of Saturn, radio signals.
Well, there is ways to search for signals.
Yeah.
And then you can tune into that signal. It doesn't mean necessarily you can find that signal either.
Well, we have a spacecraft. It's called Cassini, and it measures radio wave patterns. And these radio waves are controlled by the rotation of the planet. It doesn't sound like to us anything, but in radio waves, if it were to sound like something, it would sound like a spinning air raid siren. Isn't that crazy? You can look it up. It does. It sounds like an air raid siren spinning out of control.
So maybe they're being attacked.
No, I'm just saying that's what it sounds like.
Or there was a civil war, and that's just the aftermath of it.
It's just still playing. It's over there. They're done over there. It's just still fucking playing.
Or, a hole blew in the side of their ship, and they're all just fucking dead, but the sound's still on.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. So you have to ask yourself, why are they putting this out now amongst this COVID-19 thing? And so then you start to question things, right? Do you? I mean, are you thinking
what about if they were already in the process of making sure they can release it, let's say months ago prior to COVID-19?
They were. It was supposed to be released, I think, in January, and then it turned to March, and then...
Nick said they work remotely.
No.
So it took time to release it.
And then I think it was like everybody was waiting in March, and so I think that's what happened. So now it's, I guess, April. But no, a top scientist from Germany, he spoke of false flags. Have you ever heard of that? Like what a false flag is?
Nope.
So he was always saying that, Vernon von Braun, he was a top scientist for Germany. He was brought to the U.S. under Operation Paperclip after World War II. He was the guy who invented the V-2 rocket for Hitler. And also he was the chief architect for Saturn V rocket for NASA's Apollo moon missions. He basically back-engineered alien reproductions. On his deathbed, he told Dr. Carol Rosen of deceptive warding projects. So he said to her, first the Russians are the enemy, then terrorists would be identified, then third world country crazies, and the last card is the alien card. And all of it is a lie.
What's he saying that about? The government's going to claim all these for what? For us to go to war against different people?
Yeah, so basically these are our own false flags. We've thrown up false flags for all of these different types of things. False flags like the communists and terrorists.
Almost like a whole propaganda campaign
literally,
to get what we want out of the world.
Literally, ISIS was built on a false flag.
Exactly. That splintered into ISIS, yeah.
A lot of things different governments always seem to do is for money, power, and generally their own benefit, not necessarily the people's benefits.
I don't know. I just thought it was highly suspect.
The people I would trust the most are the people that are ready to die anyway, and it doesn't matter. They might as well let the secrets out because I'm dead.
Yeah, I think
he says something like that is midway in his career, he fucking goes to jail for treason. That's
right,
it. You never hear from the guy again.
Right.
So you got to put a certain weight on what he said to be pretty true to an extent.
Right. So basically, you have to. We all have to use our minds against. I guess what this would be what, like psychological warfare against us, our nation, ourselves.
They could be releasing it now because we're already fearful of disease. They're already controlling people to stay inside.
Right. So they have a captive audience right there.
And now they say, guys, right above your fucking heads, aliens.
Yeah.
And now people really start freaking the fuck out. And then it's a way to control.
Well,
an easy way to control people.
I would say yes, but we have to see if freaking out happens. Because again, this information has been released, and all I've seen is a lot of internet people covering it, and the news is still covering COVID-19. The news ain't covering this. If there wasn't a pandemic, the news would be covering this for 3 to 4 weeks because it's clickable headlines. The whole reason we're doing this episode is for free clicks.
Well, that's what I want to say. Did he predict what we're seeing today as the Pentagon releases some shit from 2004, 2015? That's old news to possibly cover what's right in front of us right now, which is COVID-19. So did he already predict that? Did he see that coming? Because this is...
Well, you didn't say he mentioned disease.
No, he didn't. But I'm saying, this could be...
I mean,
like we just said, we are a captive audience right now.
Yeah, my thing would be, is it going to stick to the general media, or will it still, or is it just going to stay with the internet media?
Right.
the
Well, I mean,
social
I think
media?
this was already theorized by Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer. Remember we were watching Unacknowledged? He kind of put that out there in his movie.
Well, the other thing is, it's not like they've released, hey, yesterday fucking alien drove by. Yeah, these are old videos.
Right, but
So they're not really telling me too much.
there
either.
are other, also in Unacknowledged is they had like a whole bunch of people on there, and they talked about like they have the technology to mimic alien crafts and staged hoax events. They said that they have staged hoaxed events like the cattle mutilations. Those are things that they have done. They said that they've even bring people with anatomical defects. They put them out there to fool people, you know, to say that these people are aliens. Or I mean, they've done that. They've acknowledged that.
Yeah, but what's the point of being copycats? The last time we had Cam Brower, he's seen cattle mutilations. He's been visited by graves.
He's not seen them done. He's seen them after the fact.
Oh, well, the cows, yes.
Right.
But he said he saw an alien right at the foot of his bed.
Oh, I'm not
That's
saying
that wasn't government.
Oh, I'm absolutely not saying that I don't believe that aliens are there. I'm just saying that I believe that the reason why we're going to be doing this and staging all of this stuff is for a false flag. Do you know
To
I'm saying?
what?
Maybe we're responsible for this whole fucking pandemic. Who the hell knows? Maybe something else is going on that they want to turn our eyes away from it. Doesn't it make sense?
I'm just trying to see what you're getting at.
That's what I'm kind of getting at. Like,
Well, say it. Say what? What are you getting at? Turn our eyes to what?
turning our eyes away. Oh, look at these aliens. They're not saying that, they are aliens. And now
It
I
could
feel
be
like,
any ship. They just couldn't identify it at the time, which to me is bullshit because you should be able to figure it out. I haven't found a normal plane from a normal country or any other country ever that they haven't been able to identify ever in history.
wait, what?
But never in the history of fucking ever have I heard a plane from another country fly somewhere and nobody knows whose it is.
Right.
It says it right on our fucking wings. U.S. Army, U.S. Navy. Fucking, they got flags on it.
Yeah.
Everyone
There's
says
fucking-
who they are.
There's just fucking eagles everywhere.
No, we
on
didn't
it.
say who we were when we were doing the stealth bomber. Nobody, if that fucking thing flew up in the sky, we would have thought it
that's
was.
like
And
the one-
think about how long ago that was.
That's one of the few planes because of what it's for. It's supposed to fly way above. But I bet you it says fucking U.S. Army on that shit somewhere.
I bet you it doesn't.
like dark
That's what the
gray.
fucking word is. Stealth.
No, because it was so high it's above radar. You can't see it. If it flew in the middle of the fucking day, you wouldn't see it and read it.
I don't know. I just feel like.
But once you catch that bitch on camera with another
Okay,
plane,
so here's another.
a plane to plane, you figure out who it is.
Here's another thought. What if they're just putting this out there? They're not saying that it's, alien life form like Nick said. But what if now they're just going to be like, guess what, guys? It's been us the whole time. And now they're just there to fucking fuck with us.
What is that going to do for them, though?
I don't know. I don't know what it's going to do for them. Okay, so I have no idea. I don't know, but
Right,
it
my point to that
it
is
could
it's-
be another way to
Well, no, my
go.
point to that is that makes zero sense. There's zero gain. That does nothing. It doesn't help but control anybody. It puts people's minds at ease. Oh, fuck. We've been fucked with for the last ever.
Yeah. Oh, there's no aliens. There's no threat from above. Well, good. Now I can breathe. Like the people who are afraid of that can breathe easy.
Right.
Yeah, that's not going to do anything for anybody. And for the people that been visited, allegedly, because I never have, so I don't know, they'll never fucking go for that.
Right.
Those
No.
motherfuckers will riot.
No.
They will change their minds and raid Area 51 for real.
Right. The next thing I wanted to talk about was that the Vatican had a shit ton of scientists invited to Rome
To Vatican City.
to the Pontifical Observatory. And the reason for this, they had him there for a week, stating that UFOs will be visiting us sooner than we assumed. And how are we as humans, not as Americans, not as Germans, French, Russians, as humans, going to deal with this? So, and we all know that the Vatican knows shit before it happens.
Allegedly. They're also don't show how much money they have in the fucking bank.
Right.
How are we going to react as humans? If it truly happens and it truly comes out, I guarantee it's a giant fucking fallout. Everyone freaks the fuck out.
Well, it's going to change everything. It'll
Yeah.
change our theology. It'll change our socioeconomic future. It'll change.
It'll allow fucking war to happen because some people might be so worried
No,
about
I
what's in
feel
the
like the
sky.
opposite.
A sneak attack from like a shitty country. North Korea's going to be like, oh, Americans look up in the sky. We'll fucking sneak over and blow them up.
I feel like if there was an acknowledgement of aliens, we now become a human race as opposed to many
The normal
different
countries,
races.
yes. The ones that
no.
fucking hate us anyway could easily use that as a way to attack.
I disbelieve all of that because right now there's an acknowledgement of a pandemic and there's still people in normal countries protesting it and saying that it's a farce from the government. You will have people that that will be like, no, this isn't real. So fuck it. Like they're not gonna care about it. You're gonna have these people that you're always gonna have people screaming farce.
There's a big group saying that it's man-made biowarfare.
We are so driven against each other when we need to be one world looking up. I think it would change. I think it would change everything.
I think that's a fantasy.
But if like UFOs were like all over the place and the government now has no say, there's no hiding it, then what? Like what if that happened? Like what if it was like Independence Day everywhere?
Everyone still wouldn't unite because other people still hate other people so fucking much. That's why there's different nations, there's different groups, different countries that are linked together and other ones hate other ones.
But think about it. There's now this threat of aliens. They're right above you. They're holding their own like culture right above us, blocking out the sun. You think people are going to be worried about?
Yes.
Really?
I think
100%.
I think there'll be people that are like, I can't do anything to stop that, but I know I could take a 70-inch screen TV and something like that.
Wow, I don't. I just completely disagree. I feel like.
Well, you just have a lot of faith in humanity.
You have way too much faith in humanity because people might say, "Oh, those fucking aliens might be linked up with America. Let's shoot America."
Yeah.
Oh, those are French fucking aliens?
Yeah.
Let's go after France.
Yeah, but like, a UFO isn't like, a UFO is only out like above these countries. A country that might have a dictator that doesn't have a UFO above them. Like, well, why do these countries have a UFO above them? What's their connection to them?
Where did we hear it that in like Desert Storm and stuff like this, there was aliens, there was UFO craft, and they were told not to hit them?
I've never heard it. You've only ever said it to me.
Okay, I've heard that somewhere. Like, so we're kind of privy to the fact that they're around and we don't bother them. They won't bother us. And I feel like throughout history, they've been trying to
we
stop. We
decided to shoot up them. They're like, now we have a fucking another front we got to fight.
I feel like throughout history, like we watch Ancient Aliens since the beginning of time. They've been around and trying to help us. And then it seems like they made a resurgence somewhere when, I guess like war started, like the atom bomb.
Yeah, when we created Godzilla.
Yes, when Godzilla became. No, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, I feel like they're trying to hinder our extinction somehow.
A lot of people believe that. There was that whole Project Blue Book episode where the Russians were flying over Canada and had a live bomb, on them for testing, and then got not shot down, but radio frequencies destroyed, computers, all their attacks, everything destroyed, and they crashed. And then, they went to go disarm that, basically a fucking nuclear bomb. And, it was, I think, fake. Ended up being fake at the time, but they were told it was real from their government. No one knows how it got taken down. No one knows exactly what happened. And then that doctor, I forget his name now, kind of leaning towards the fact of like aliens protecting, this Earth.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
It's awfully nice of them.
I feel like they're doing a bad job, but I guess it could have been worse.
Yeah, they seem peaceful to an extent.
Wait a minute. Wait, we also saw something. I don't remember exactly. Or I just saw it. I could be the only one that saw it. But I did see it on TV. And it said that they were shooting, I don't know, they were testing, I guess, military weapons. And then something shot straight from the sky and shot the military weapon right out of the sky. That was happening in the desert at some point. Not too recent, but it did happen. So yeah, I mean, you can look it up.
I mean, yeah, you can go on the peaceful scale. There's people that claim to be abducted and probed, and all types of things done to them. There's another episode of Project Blue Book that the guy was abducted and then ended up in a tree, fucking fell, I guess, from the sky and was dead. You can go on either side of the fence, really.
Yeah, but then we also hear there's different types of aliens as well.
Yeah, that's the other thing, because there's so unknown, because there's people that say there's one alien, and there's different species of aliens, so I don't know. Who knows?
Hey, there's billions of stars in the sky, like trillions of stars in the sky.
Well, I always say you're ignorant to think that we're the only things out there. And I guess to say there's only one type of alien would be ignorant too.
Even I saw the former Minister of Defense of Canada. He said that UFOs are as real as the planes flying over your head. And it's time that the United States government started coming clean on what it's all about.
Are they coming clean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're totally open. He's the former military I'm sorry, he's a former minister of defense.
Yeah, but have they come clean to the Canadians?
Apparently, it's something about the United States and how we want to cover everything up. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop because they're not admitting to anything. They throw this shit out there. They just put it out there. They don't even like hold like no kind of like nothing. Like, oh, this happened. Okay. They had many years to tell us about that. We're going through a fucking pandemic. Now they drop this shit on us. Just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, it's an easy way to slide it out there, really without telling anybody. And you just find out from a few sources, then it circulates the internet, around Facebook, Twitter, blows up, it trends. But without doing a full media release, it's kind of like hiding it anyway. It's hiding it in the open.
Yeah, and also there are a lot of things on our minds right now, so it's easy for this to get overlooked.
Right. And then if there's, in the future, we start saying shit you never told us, never this, they'd be like, well, remember in 2020, we said there was fucking aliens. These things were real, or not aliens, but UFOs are real. Because everyone's, it's kind of like sweeping under the carpet right in front of people's eyes right now.
Or the opposite, like I said. I could go either way.
You're almost hiding it. Like I said, they're not doing a full media release. There's no press conference saying, listen, everybody, these fucking videos are real. We have no idea what the hell it was.
Right, because the less they say, the less they have to retract.
Right, therefore, they're really hiding it, yet not.
I don't know. I choose to believe the opposite.
I'm also on the mindset that this news can easily just dissipate as quickly as it surfaced because it's not going to gain mainstream coverage. And right now, a lot of people are looking at mainstream media for their coverage.
Right now, too many people are trying to get unemployment checks from their fucking states and all this stuff to be worried about an alien. People are trying to live.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see it both ways.
And the other thing is, if Trump went on a press release right now and said this, people are like, oh, that's what we're fucking concerned about, not about the well-being of Americans.
Well, he did just recently sign some kind of bullshit saying that they can start mining on the moon.
Right, because you got to do other things than worry about one problem.
Yeah.
But the problem is everyone's so tied up in themselves to look at other things out there, which is why Nick's saying it could be easily disappear. It could be trending for a couple weeks and that's it. It's gone.
I don't even think a couple weeks. I think it's trending for a couple weeks if we weren't in a pandemic where we're scared right now. If this was just a normal fucking day of the week that this was released, and there's no other thing in the news cycle besides, the 2 murders and 3 car accidents that happens every day, that this would then be the biggest news. It would be talked about every single day. News anchors would be clawing to get any military. It could be a dude in the army that served in Iraq. They would still want him, even though this is something that the Air Force found. They want someone in a camo suit on their screen right now because that's going to get more eyes to them so that they could watch. And then people will be like, oh shit, like look at this expert talking, where now you're not going to have that. Right now you have none of that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they're being upfront, but they're not because there's no coverage.
Yeah, and I don't think there will be coverage. I would rather not dissipate. I mean, you could have the argument that people need something else on their mind right now because it's just the same mundane kind of like gruesome story. Like you could turn the other way and be like, oh, maybe people are going to be like, oh shit, let's talk about this because I don't want to fucking talk about all the grandparents dying. So let's just bring this up to, lighten the mood or something. But I don't personally believe that. I just think that's something that could happen.
I don't know. We've been covering shit up since like who fucking knows when. And it just seems so weird.
Well, that's the other thing. Would they have said anything if these weren't leaked? One's from 2004, it took this long. Then you got 2 from 2015 that leaked in 17. And still took an additional 3 years after they leaked to find, like, you know what, we should tell everybody. That's real footage.
Right.
There could be footage happening every month or
and
once a year. That could be
exactly.
real footage.
Do you think that's really the only footage that they have?
No, it's the only footage that got leaked by somebody. It's for all we know something happened tonight and they're just not telling anybody.
Yeah, or 3 or 4 times a night. I once watched something that stated that, this is like it's such a common occurrence that they could predict when like certain ships are going to be coming through on some kind of like, I forget how they look at these different types of, there's like infrared and they did predict it. So it's pretty commonplace for them to know if something's coming in and coming out.
I wonder what the Men in Black are doing right now.
And that's another thing.
They're shooting a 5th movie.
Yeah.
So who do you say to the president, can you even cry to the president like, oh, well, aliens, you guys covered up aliens. Well, the president doesn't fucking know because as we know, presidents have asked for, like, even Jimmy Carter asked Bush when he was the head of the CIA or some shit, I don't fucking know. He asked him for all of the UFO records and he said, I can't give you that. That's classified. And so who do you ask? There's a whole outfit
That's
out there that
because-
just deals with this. And people, even brass people, they just don't know.
Well, that's why I always say when people think the president knows everything, does everything, everything's his decision, they're fucking stupid.
Right.
There's plenty of shit he doesn't know. He doesn't get the access to know. And a lot of decisions he doesn't even get to make.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
a
he's
lot of
just
people
there to
think
veto those.
the president is the supreme leader of America, and it's like, no, there's still a hierarchy. It's just like he is definitely high on there.
Yeah, they call them checks and balances. Meanwhile, they're the ones in control.
Yeah, like he's high on there, but there are other aspects that kind of aren't really the president's concern until it's time to be concerned for the people.
Right.
Like, he doesn't need to know about every UFO that is flying over our country until it starts becoming like an issue for the people. Because the president is supposed to be, the
He's
voice
he's
for
there
the
for
people.
4 years, and that's his job to be. Yeah.
Well, yeah, until it's an issue
He's a puppet.
of national defense and security. There's no need for him to know anything.
Right. It's like part-time gig, then he's out. That's not his life. Yeah, so that makes sense. But I don't know. I just think it's pretty amazing how there's all these different types of materials that even at Roswell. Well, Roswell happened in 1947. And it's important to note that nearly 6 months prior, there was an enormous amount of claims of UFO sightings, like over 300 UFO sightings in the area. And a rancher saw a UFO crash. He went and he gathered some of the debris. And then some of the debris, I feel like this is very intriguing, like the metal that they found. The people who actually went and picked up the debris afterwards, some military official or whatever, said that the metal was like as thin as the foil of like when you open up like a pack of cigarettes. It was as thin as that, but they couldn't break it with a sledgehammer. A sledgehammer would bounce off of it. Like, that's some shit.
That just means these people have been around for a long time and they're way better at shit than us.
Yeah, they got good metal forgers.
So he gathers up the debris. He brings it to the sheriff. The sheriff takes it to the military. They came in with a press release, and the headline in the newspaper the following day says, "The RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region," right? But that same day, I guess it got to the certain people that it needed to get to. That same day, they changed the story stating it was a balloon and that the debris was paper, rubber, tinfoil, and sticks. Like what?
Well, they said it was like a weather balloon, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, they covered it up to be a weather balloon. So that's a big cover up. But then again, in 1978, Jesse Marcel, who was the intelligence officer who originally assessed the crash, said that he believed it was definitively not a weather balloon. And he's the one who went on to say that the metal, he saw it was flimsy as tinfoil, the tinfoil of the cigarettes, and he said that a sledgehammer would bounce off of it. And the eyewitnesses there also agreed, and that was in 78. So, he held on to that information. That's pretty interesting.
Well, how do you tell people basically 2 years after a giant world war that, hey, we got an alien problem now, back to war?
Yeah, we just kind of figured out how to do aerial combat in a good way, and now let's try to do space combat.
Yeah, now we got space combat next to somebody that's way far superior than us.
22 years before we even make it to the moon.
So there's some people out there that claim that Germany is like 100 years ahead of us in all of this. So that could have been some German aircraft, and we didn't want anybody to know that either.
Not after we kicked their ass.
Yeah,
They just sent another aircraft. We already killed all their leaders.
There's just one that was just like, "Hey guys, you forgot about me. Shit, ran out of gas."
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there are some people that say that Germany is or was way advanced, like 100 years
I would say
advanced.
they were.
That's just a terrible,
I think because obviously
prediction.
they were able to do submarines before anyone else. They were advanced. Losing a war definitely backtracks technology. War definitely pushes technology forward. Some of the best inventions happen during time of war because there's just an influx of money because we need to fucking win.
Right.
But losing a war definitely, especially how Germany lost and then was divided for how fucking long was Berlin divided for, and then America stole most of the scientists during paperclip. I would say Germany then wouldn't be ahead.
Right, because now we've got all their information now.
Yeah.
Right.
During World War II, yes, they were ahead.
Which was that guy? That's the guy from Project Paperclip. He is the one who predicted. That's why I feel like it's so important. And then you have Bob Lazar. The reason why I do believe him is because apparently he had come out and said there was the propulsion system of these UFOs were made by, I guess, isolating this certain atomic number 115 or E.
Yeah, it was some metal. I remember the way he described the construction and propulsion system of the spacecraft sounded really like intelligent. Like it made sense to me. I was like, oh, that's something I feel like we could build.
Right. And so, yeah, he's claimed that the propulsion of the studied vehicle was fueled by the chemical element with an atomic number 115 or E115, which allegedly generates a gravity wave that allowed the vehicle to fly and evade visual detection by bending light around it. And he also said that, the UFOs that he had seen were not built by big people. The cabins, they were very, very tiny. And the UFOs were made out of one single piece. There was no welding point, he said. And so if you're looking at this element now, it's actually on our periodic table. I've come to understand. Now it is.
Yeah.
Right. But then they were telling us that it was far-fetched, and he was like, no, you don't understand. They're just going to isolate one of the pieces of this thing and it's going to be stable. He seems to have credibility there, even though there's some things that he doesn't have credibility for anymore.
Yeah, I think most of his credibility for me runs for the fact that like the FBI raid his house every few months to search if he still has shit. And
right, and they did get him on some weird shit too. Apparently they got him on prostitution ring and he got bored, pled guilty.
What was he? He's from Nevada?
Unless
I don't remember.
Put some shit there just to pin him on something.
That's the
like a lesser charge. Like, listen, we're to get you for this. You better keep fucking quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're ruin your credibility.
Yeah, he's like, all right, good idea.
Yeah, but whenever he is talks about his experiences and shit, within a few days, that documentary, the Bob Lazar Area 51 in Salsburg, whatever the hell it's called, that's on Netflix. While they were filming it, he got his house and his laboratory. The FBI raided because they fucking, I guess, listened to him.
Yeah, they're always watching him. So
they raided him during that filming. The film crew wasn't there. They were in the hotels, apartments, or whatever.
And he called them.
Yeah, he called me. I was like, "Yo," and they were they came. They're like, "What do you mean you just got raided?" Yeah. And his shit was everywhere. And he's like, "Yeah, they took a few boxes of stuff. They always do."
So fucked up.
Past the propulsion and small cabin, the idea of a craft that's not even welded or riveted together, it means they have to stamp it. Giant craft that gets stamped in one piece to create the shape, and then in order to mend, say, top and bottom, you're just doing some crazy and who knows what type of adhesive. Doesn't even make sense.
Right. Well,
maybe he's just maybe one, he's shitty at spotting welds, and two, the aliens are just really good at fucking buffing welds out.
Yeah, they probably just cleaned it up. They're gotta make our shit look good.
Yeah, they were really into just damn, smooth that weld. There's some welders that they smooth their shit. You can't see that weld anymore.
Yeah, that makes more sense than.
No, what if the actual element that they're using is something akin to blowing up a balloon?
But metal? I'm
no
no scientist.
It's not a metal of the earth. It, like I said, the metal that they found on the ground was thin as fuck and also very sturdy. So
obviously I'm no scientist, but it'd be hard for me to wrap my head around something like that.
Yeah,
a blow mold fucking craft.
It hurts my brain because to have something that wraps around means eventually there would have to be a point where the back end meets the front end.
Maybe something was blocking it, some kind of gauge. Because he did say, if I can remember correctly, he said something like their hands and their intention flew the craft.
Yeah, they didn't have controls.
He was able you put his hand over the thing. You don't touch anything.
Yeah,
it sensed your hand and defending him. Where your hand was and how far or close it was would increase speed and shit like that.
I thought it was based on intention. I'm going to go that way. I'm going to go this way. And notoriously,
that would make more sense the way they fly fucking really erratically.
Yeah.
Just juke it in their heads, fucking dodging people.
Just a bunch of
so much easier when you're just using intention. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. Bunch of aliens on ADHD. Oh, what's that? What's this? What's that?
Yeah.
Just lost.
Yeah, cow. Let's kill it. Crop circle.
Yeah, they're just doing a Sudoku puzzle, and they're like, oh shit, we're flying.
I don't know. It just blew me away when I heard that we fucking fuck with our own people, and we're like, could have been aliens. It's implied that this could have been aliens. We're not going to admit to anything.
Imagine the resources we spend and waste on covering shit up.
Yeah, there's a budget for that. It's called the black budget.
Dark name.
It's legit, right, Nick? You've heard of it?
You said it on a previous episode, something
Yeah.
like 300 million a month or some shit
Oh,
like
some
that.
I don't
stupid-
know. It's just
Somebody
so
brought it up. It
unaccounted
was like
for, and we're
100
not
million a
even
day or something. I was like fucking mind blown.
like
Yeah.
what?
I think you brought it up on one of our previous episodes. I remember that. I still am a firm believer there's still enough good reason to cover stuff up, but that's just because I don't trust the human race with all the knowledge they need, because we're not rational beings.
That's a whole other thing. Let's say, we decide to come out and say there's UFOs, we caught them, we did this, we found this information. Who's to say another country is not going to want to come here to get that information to be the top country? There's bad people out there. There's bad people everywhere. Let's say ISIS wants to come blow us up and find out all the secret information so they can build stuff and become a fucking superpower. That's what they want anyway.
Who's to say we're going to be the ones who find it? Like I said, Rome, the Vatican said that.
Right. I think Steven's bringing up Roswell and Bob Lazar.
Oh, okay.
The shit that we already have. The
Gotcha.
information and
I'm saying the
technology
stuff
we already own.
The stuff that people already crashed here, we've already looked into stuff. We have information.
Oh yeah, they've
But-
totally back engineered.
But what Nick's saying is to hide it because, it's valuable information, and that puts us, in a vulnerable situation with other people.
Yeah, no, I mean,
On top of freaking people the fuck out.
Yeah,
That's a side issue.
Yeah, that's more what I'm bringing up. Is just I don't trust the common man to make a rational decision. But yeah, you are also correct that like you would even have allies. Like literally, there could be like France be like, well, why the fuck does America get that information? And like France has one of our longest lasting allies, but they were like, well, we want that information. Like, what do you mean you're not going to give us that information? We should have the information. We got invaded by Germany twice. Who knows what the fuck could happen again? Like, help us out here. And we're like, nah, it's ours.
Exactly. Everything comes down to really power and greed and money and all that bullshit. Everything in the fucking
which
world.
comes back to humans not being able to make a rational decision.
Correct.
Well, as you mentioned, North Korea, and now we're looking at that guy could probably be dead, or
They'll bring out his body double soon.
I mean, even if he's in a vegetative state, he's still not gonna be running a country anytime soon. So look at him; he's ironically down,
Hey man, FDR.
and now we got this
FDR
captive
was
audience, and now we're
yeah.
looking at UFOs. Like, what the fuck else could happen in 2020?
I think it's confirmed that like FDR was dead for like a few days or even a month, even while his wife ran the country.
Really?
Yeah, she wouldn't let anyone into his chamber. She was like the only one allowed in his chamber. And when anyone asked a question, she like would open the door, but she would be the one answering it, saying, "This is what the president said."
And what was the reasoning behind that?
We were still in war, and we
Oh,
we didn't
okay.
want to like lose a leader during a great time of war.
That's when the American people would really freak the fuck out. Now what? Now what?
Yeah, I mean, you still lost them, and then you got it was hairy ass Truman that pushed the button to stop Japan,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you could only pull up that front for so long before the American people
Well, they
are
got-
like,
yeah, they
"What's going on here?"
You got to gather your thoughts, figure out a way to
Yeah,
say it.
yeah. That's why I
and-
think it was only like for a few days that she was like keeping the facade going, while they were like, "We're gonna have to like switch fronts right here, right in the height of a war. We're fighting two fronts in Germany and Japan, and we're gonna lose a president. This is not a good time."
Well, they say that Kim Jong-un, and am I saying that right?
Un is the most recent one. Yes.
That he's gone days, months, sometimes even 40 days without even publicly being seen. So,
But yeah, I still think they're going to drop a body double like Fidel Castro, because I also believe he was a body double for a while.
So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. You can always find this at thebeerlatteshow.com. And I expect emails at thebeerlatteshow@gmail.com, or our Instagram, The Beer Latte Show, Twitter at Beer Latte, our Facebook. We want to know, what do you guys believe? Have you guys seen UFOs? Have you seen aliens? Reach out to us and let's talk.
and or what kind of breweries would you like us to reach out to as well? See you later.
Bye.
Yeah. This drip all on my body, soaking wet the Sony. Looking like a walking lick, yeah, you can tell I'm grinding. Rolling back